Previously on Drinks and Drag.
This season that is currently airing on TV, where you posted these posts. So I'm here for her getting her job revoked. I'm not here for the crocodile tears and the apologies. Dock her pay if you need to, but like, I don't think that she should return for next season. There's like a major cultural insensitivity, and I don't think that I don't think that it's genuine, her apology. To me.
I agree.
Heard.
Absolutely. Everything you literally said was like gold. Because I feel the same way. Like, she's not sorry because she's sorry. She's sorry she got caught. And thank you, EJ. You were quick. Because I just pulled this story up. And he was already ready with one of the posts that she retweeted. Talking about, those are the protests, how many of the protesters she hit and all this other stuff. Like, you posted stuff that's clearly discriminating against the protesters who are crying out discrimination. And if anybody know about discrimination, it should be you, because honey, aren't you Asian? Like, there was a recent thing that was going on in media where there was some other Asian people were being brutally attacked by white people and some black folks and this, that, and the other. So there's been a rise in Asian hate crimes. I remember Simu Liu from Shang-Chi was talking about it, and a bunch of other people. George Takei's been talking about it. Like, if anybody should be able to relate to this story, should be her. And I'm sick and tired of these so-called, some of you coloreds like her, who align yourself with the white narrative, thinking, oh, if I align myself with certain people, then they're gonna love me and they're gonna welcome me with open arms. No, they still looking at you as all the racial thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it's time for this past week's The Gaga on Drinks and Drag. With the resident Papi Chulo, Remy. Come get your face beat by the one and only drag beauty queen, Lindsay Aguilera. And the one and only troublemaker himself, Kris Avalon. So grab a drink and come on in, because the lounge is open 24/7.
Okay, let me stop. Hey, everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the Kris Avalon. Oh, sorry. I am Kris Avalon, but welcome to Drinks and Drag. I've lost my damn mind. Not completely, partially, but once again, let's do that over. Take two. Hey, y'all. How you doing? It's your boy, Kris Avalon. Welcome to a brand new episode of Drinks and Drag, a panel series where myself, Lindsay Aguilera, and Remy will be spilling all the latest tea and pop culture news that you may have missed throughout the week, or what's going on and what's trending. So we talk about things within the entertainment industry. We also talk about things that's going on within the LGBTQ community, and we have a lot of that going on today. We have an action-packed show. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We're going to, of course, give you our Drag Race recap, because that's what we do since this is a new season, and this is a show about drag, so it's fitting that we talk about drag teens. Also, we're going to be following up on this Cardi B, Tasha K debacle. Justice has been served. We're going to give our tea on that. We're going to talk about Rafael Alencar is spilling tea about some Hollywood celebrities that he's been canoodling with as, a male prostitute. We're also going to talk about a follow-up on Miss Salt Lake City, Miss Jennie Nguyen, and the dumb shit she said, and how Bravo took a long-ass time, but finally justice has been served on her ass. We're going to talk about that. And, of course, we're going to wrap it up. We got a bunch of other stuff, but we're all going to wrap it up. We have a special that we're going to be doing on the Real Housewives of New Jersey that's going to be starting next week. So we're going to be, it's going to be all things Housewives and stuff like that. So if you are a Jersey fan, definitely stick around for that. So without further ado, let me bring in my sister from another mister. She's always serving glam. She's serving looks. I'm always, curious to see, okay, what's she going to get? What look she going to give, or whatever you want to say this week. She was giving me Scarlett Johansson in Black Widow. Yeah, she's got that good old red gentrification on top. Let's bring her in. Come on in, Miss Lindsay.
Ow. 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 I am feeling myself. Yes, I'm giving you Christina Aguilera meets Black Widow meets Beyonce telephone on a ginger ale enema. I was about to say when you were saying
Ginger ale
hi, welcome
enema.
to the crick, Chris, and you caught yourself. I was like, oh, somebody had a ginger ale enema this morning. I think we got distracted behind the scenes. If you guys see like how we interact behind the scenes to hype up for the show, it's
Yeah, we
funny.
were. Yeah, my brain was all over because before we go live, we're having our little, our hot topics meeting on what we're going to be talking about and all that good stuff, and then we're being silly and playing music. And Lindsay loves playing housewife songs, so you will hear if you were with us on doing the show, she will be playing Luann's music. She'll be playing Melissa Gorga's on display. Like it's
On
always something.
display,
They need
you
to
know.
take that. They need to take the song that Gia did in the morning, whatever
Oh,
the fuck she said.
yeah,
Can y'all
yeah.
put a beat behind that? Like that would give me my whole life. But anyway, so yeah, she's serving looks as usual. And might I say before we bring everybody else in, I'm living for that new Christina Aguilera EP. I actually listened to it a couple of days ago, and I was like, okay. I've had
So good,
Santo
so
on
good,
repeat. I've had
so
that
good.
song with Ozuna and drama with Ozuna aside, I do like the song. And if
Hmm.
you've seen my prior video when I was talking about Ozuna, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. But anyway, so let's bring in our resident Poppy Chulo and our drag race connoisseur. So if you want to know anything about drag race,
Hmm.
reality TV, like a lot of it, he is an encyclopedia on all that. He knows way more than I do because sometimes I'm like, oh, really? But
Yes.
anyway, so hey, where's Remy?
Hi.
Hey,
Are you
Hi,
ready for tonight's
Remy.
show?
I am ready for my promised ginger ale enema
Yeah, everybody's talking about Emma's.
because
Yeah, this is the ongoing theme. Lindsay talking about a damn ginger ale. Emma. We are definitely gonna talk about RuPaul because that's what I'm gonna
well,
call her
this
because she lost her damn mind. We're gonna talk about her and this damn coffee. And I'm like, what are you talking about with this coffee? Emma? This is
I
basically the
mean that's the only
rundown.
reason why I got out of bed today was for my ginger ale enema.
hmm So what's
Hello.
everybody drinking?
I'm doing tequila shots again because of my ginger ale enema. So I'm taking it
You
very
already got
easy.
a
I don't want to
chaser
have
in there.
edge. I have a little chaser. It's giving
Yeah.
a little It's giving very much that right now. That's what my
Okay.
stomach is feeling. My stomach is
Yes.
feeling that.
And it's
The
feeling very
pinks,
sad because you ain't got around the world.
no,
You ain't got
well,
around the world.
at the moment, the pink things don't gotta move the wheels, so it's fine over
If it
here.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay, as well, if anybody would know, it'd be RuPaul. But okay, so I did tease it earlier when I was posting this up on Facebook Live. So those of you who are watching on Facebook Live, hey, we have a very special guest that we have on tonight's show. He is actually, I should say, oh, could I say this? He is, I would consider him. Well, we all know him, but I guess we could consider him a Drinks and Drag super fan because he's always in the comments, commenting on things and throwing in his 2 cents. We're gonna see how he does on camera. So you better bring the shade because we bring plenty of it. So without further ado, let's bring him on in. Hey Jake. Jakey.
Hi, Jake. Welcome,
Hi.
welcome, welcome.
I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm telling you, tonight it's gonna be so funny. Jake and Remy, as you guys have seen from the Beat Face and the Beat Face after show, the lives and the shades and the comments are so real. So I'm gonna this is gonna be a really good episode. I'm telling you, my ginger ale enema is gonna be bubbling up with excitement on this episode.
If
Oh,
there's
so
one thing I know, it's shade. That's it.
okay. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. Okay, so
Yes.
wait, did we say what everybody's drinking tonight? Because I'm just drinking Coke.
Oh, I have I'm doing the tequila, the
Drinking it, not
818
snorting it.
tequila 818 shots, and I'm chasing it down with a ginger ale.
My body isn't awake yet, so I'm just drinking Pepsi.
We all drinking soda, yeah, because we need that
Yeah.
sugar. We need
I just
that
have some
sugar.
water and some wine.
Oh, water and
Yes.
wine. But well, Dave, didn't Jesus turn water into wine?
Exactly.
Okay.
Allegedly. Okay. So, without further ado, let's get into the kick. So we're gonna start off, of course, with this drag race recap. It was episode 3, where I guess we're gonna talk the season 14 ball challenge, where the girls had to come up with a whole plethora of looks. Some were hits, lots were a miss. I have a list of my best and my worst looks. I'm really curious to hear what everybody, thought about it. So just a little recap. The final 12 came together. They met. They conversed in the workroom, was sizing each other up and all that good stuff. And then coming to find out that Mama Ru came in the room and like I predicted in one of the episodes, the last live episode that we did, that I was like, "Ooh, word on the street is Orion Story and Diabetes were not sent home because here's the gag. There was no what you packing." See, that's how I figured it, being a detective, how it all came apart. Or about, I should say. And why this is kept, and as predicted, they weren't sent home. So the girls, some of them was mad, but I think that was all, they were acting. Like they weren't really that mad because y'all was giving me what we got from the earlier seasons when the girls would really be mad when somebody would go, remember when they brought Chandler back like 5 times and the girls was gagging over that? So the girls came in. There was a whole thing where they had to come up with different looks. It was like they had the America flag look. First of all, I thought that was horrible. But I'm gonna hold back my opinion on that because I don't want to jump the boom boom gun too early. But there was that. Then we had the elimination, and I'll ask everybody what they thought about the bottom two and what they, and everything. And RuPaul started losing her damn mind, talking about coffee enemas and while she had I was thinking like the dress that she wore on the panel, it was giving me coffee filter teas. Like I was getting that when I was looking at it over on the way it was designed. It looked like a coffee filter dress.
And that's probably why she kept talking about the coffee enema. Who knows? You could be onto something. That could have been a little shady moment.
Yeah, I don't think she really took a coffee enema. She probably did have a lot of coffee, but because when they, from what I've heard, they do sit there for a long period of time, shooting. But it takes Rue like 3 hours to get ready anyway, with the makeup, the wigs, the dress, and then it's like having to do those scenes and then having to sit there and all the different looks that's coming down, and how many times you got to change your clothes, and I'm sure they got to stop and start, and they got to retouch and come out with new dress. So they can't do all that. So I know that has to take hours. But then on top of that, the deliberations take hours, and the critiquing takes hours. So I can imagine like how long they were sitting there, and Ru was probably losing her damn mind with all that damn coffee. So with that, so as I start to wind down and shut up, so that way you could all talk, what did y'all think of the last episode of this ball challenge? Who wants to go first? Lindsay?
To me, it felt very rushed. I don't know if they're like. To me, it felt like they were playing catch up because, they wasted 2 episodes. Well, it was 2 openings. They sent 2 girls home and brought them back, but it felt very rushed. It felt very. I mean, I was entertained, but like the workroom conversations and the queens getting themselves ready, I felt was very like super duper quick. Like I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt like the blink of my eye, the runway started. And I think maybe it also has to do because there was 3 challenges that had to do 3 different looks on 12 queens, so that could be one of the reasons. But I was entertained, but I did feel like time was going by really quick.
Yeah. Remy, thoughts?
I thought that like the first half of the episode was so entertaining. Everybody was showing their personality. Everybody was talking shit. Somebody ate a dragonfly for some reason. I just felt like it was so entertaining. And then, like Lindsay said, there were just so many looks. And I don't know if it's because it was split up between 2 different categories and they kept bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. But of like the 44, whatever, how many looks they came out, I liked 0 of them. Like I didn't think any of them were good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because like the bar has been set so high on these ball challenges from people like Got Mick and Simone, and like it's set so high, it's so elevated that everybody just came out, and I was so underwhelmed the entire time. Like I was literally at a bar watching it with my friend, and I was like, okay, I don't like that. Okay, but I don't like that either. And like the entire time I was just like, oh my god, I don't like any of it.
Oh my god.
And then the end of the episode, I think whoever went home was the right choice. I felt like her time was over.
I mean, and Alex says exactly. He was agreeing with what Lindsay was saying about the show feeling, the episode feeling rushed. And Angel, in the building, says the looks
Hi.
were not giving, and Alyssa was snubbed for the top, though. Well, I would give my opinion on the overall looks and what I liked and what I didn't like. Because I had to, even though I will agree with you, Remy, that I struggled trying to find an outfit that I would fall in love with. I was like, for the, just the sake of doing this show, I gotta pick something. So I was like, I'm watching videos, I'm going on the internet, and somebody actually, I forget which website it was, and I wish I would have wrote it down so I could credit them. They literally put all the looks and everything together. I was like, okay, you know what? I can kind of look at it and take the time and take it apart. It was like, when they have some of the YouTube videos where they go and they give their hots and rots, shout out to Bussy Queen, when they do these things. I wanted to actually take time to look at the outfits and kind of just go over and critique and say what I liked and what I didn't like. So I was able to do that with my assessment. But before I give that, Jake, what did you think of the recent episode of Drag Race overall? And do you agree with Lindsay and Remy where you weren't featuring any of the overall looks?
I think the overall episode was good. I noticed that Diabetes is getting a lot of like confessionals. So I think
Mm,
she's gonna be like the voice of the season. I think it's gonna be her
mm.
and Cornbread that are
Yeah,
gonna be like, I feel like they'll be the shadier ones.
yeah.
Um and for the challenge, yeah, it was a snooze fest for the most part. I'll be honest. Like it just, I don't know, it wasn't giving. And maybe it is because the past contestants were so good fashion wise,
Yeah.
but I think they overlooked Diabetes' look, the one that she constructed.
Oh, 100%. I
No,
agree with
what
you
was
on
it?
that.
Was that the one with the polka dots?
It was the ruffled one, the red, white, and blue
Mm-hmm.
ruffles.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
That
Hmm.
was really pretty. Not the
I don't know.
best, but
I had more time fun watching Violet Chachki talk about the looks because she's brutally
Unfit
honest.
stuff, yeah.
ooh.
So
Oh yeah. Well,
very.
I think I got that alert on my YouTube, so I think I need to after we wrap this, I might watch that. Because I know sometimes a lot of I love when the drag race like Baba Drag Queen and a lot of them they sit and they break down all the stuff because they're way more entertaining than like when you see all these
Hmm.
other ones that try to take it so serious. It's like throw a joke in, like it's not.
Right.
If even if you never get to be on Drag Race, at least create your own. Like a lot of these girls creating their own little platforms. You don't need Drag Race to be on there, even though they try to tell you that they try to sell you that pipe dream. But for the most part, I do agree. I was kind of bored with the episode. I'm really hoping next week's episode is way better. And based on the sneak peek that I don't know if everybody saw it, but I'm looking forward to it. So they have who is it? So we got well, I don't want to jump the gun yet because we didn't talk about the bottom two. So
Mm-hmm.
before I get to that, I'll say that towards the end. But for the most part, what I wrote was okay. So it was no big secret with the whole thing about Orion and Daya coming back. The best looks for me when I picked because I had to take notes, and I'm sure if y'all looked on my Instagram and Facebook, you see that I posted it. Alyssa Hunter's leopard print dress, I did kind of think that was cute. George's white high slit evening dress, and Julia's red poofy chiffon dress, and the bridal dress. I did like Carrie's purple 80s inspired leopard print dress and spinning fascinator. That was giving me very 80s. I do love an 80s dynasty look. Carrie's zebra print dress, pink tights, and the boots. I did like Willow's zebra executive realness look. Willow's Versace as black leopard print evening dress with gold trimmings. Jasmine Kennedy. Oh, I can't wait for them to drag her in the next episode. By the way, um, serving I'm telling you realness with her ice skater inspired ensemble and Diabetes white long sleeve evening dress. I did like that with the long sleeves. I mean, at least she looked better with long sleeves than Miss June Jambalaya. Because remember that outfit she had on last week was a no bueno. But the worst looks for me, every outfit worn by Maddie Morphosis, Deja's bridal plantation dress, June's leopard print evening dress, the one that she couldn't stop walking on, because she looked mad uncomfortable in it. Deja's red resort dress and purple wig, that was a whole, I don't know, she must be colorblind with that one. Cornbread's bridal dress, but I did love the purple wig though. Rue and that damn coffee enema. That's another thing that was pissing me off throughout the episode. I mean, it was funny in the beginning, but I'm like, okay, you're overdoing it. And yeah, so that was pretty much it. Oh, another thing. Let's talk about this. This fucking Willy Wonka twist. What is that? With the chocolate bar. That
Oh,
is no.
It's chocolate.
No.
It's kind of.
But I will say this: I'm living for the memes because there was one that came out about Milk having sex with.
Not that.
Oh, y'all know about the video.
I know.
Wait, what?
I know about the
So
No.
video.
apparently, Milk did an OnlyFans with Diego Sands. They did a video, and apparently, she painted him.
She had a little slip.
She
Oh my
painted
god.
mudslide chocolate.
hmm Can
Well, she should
can I
change her
tell
name
Chocolate.
to
you?
Chocolate Milk.
She was missing
Oh
a.
no, not that. Can I tell you this whole chocolate bar thing? I have an issue with it. And my issue with it is that it's so obviously a production tactic to save someone that they want to save later on down the line. Like,
Mm.
granted, somebody they signed it or whatever, but I feel like it could easily like be slipped out and slipped in with something else.
Oh
And
yeah, the whole wrapping is stupid.
yeah,
You're saying like to make it
Yeah.
easier and simpler to reveal it. Somebody told me one of my friends was saying that I bet you Maddie Morpheus has got the damn gold bar. Like they gonna pull
either
that
Maddie,
stunt.
I feel like either Maddie Morphosis or like maybe Cornbread is gonna have a bad week and they're gonna save her with the bar, or somebody who's like pop like a front runner or
So
something.
my thing is it's clearly produced the way they're doing the chocolate bar. Like I don't
hmm
think that
Yeah.
they're gonna give somebody based on the way the show goes because they're producing it the gold bar so that way it'll be good for TV. But to me, in my opinion, I feel like the best, and this is what I feel like they should do for each one instead of, um, the thing that they do on All Stars, what they did last season, where it was basically the girls have a chance to come back. They stole that from Top Chef, by the way, where they would have last chance kitchen. So when the girl was so whoever was eliminated, they would actually cook against the other person who was eliminated, and you keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. So when you kick all the other ones behind, you have an opportunity to come back to the show. I think they need to pull this stunt with all the queens from the show and have them do that, and then have that be the way for them to come back. That would be way more entertaining. This whole thing with the chocolate bar, it doesn't feel earned to me. It feels produced. So I'm not really feeling this whole chocolate concept, but let them try it, let them figure it out, and they're gonna
I
realize the
mean,
fans is gonna hate it.
you you
And
did bring up a good point when it comes to that. Thinking about it now and like really understanding, because at first I actually did not have an issue with the chocolate bar. I was like, okay, they're just trying to bring something new to the show. But as I'm clicking something new to the show and what you're saying, I think, like, especially in this panel, we have seen the show for many years. Like, we at this point, we're the vets when it comes to anything Drag Race. Like, we all have friends who are just now catching up to certain seasons, or they fall off and they come back on, and they're getting excited by it. I think what they're trying to do is not so much win us over because we're watching it regardless and we're breaking down and analyzing it 100%. Do you think maybe this tactic is more for the newcomers, like for the people who are just now watching Drag Race, or if this is their first season? To them, they're thinking, "Oh wow, this is a twist! Like what? So now you have a chance, even if you suck at what you
wait, what is
do."
that playing in the background?
Like oh,
I know I heard something.
who's
What?
interrupting my airtime? I'm kidding. No,
And
no,
then
but
what is it?
I'm thinking
Angel
this is
says, "I heard they take the chocolate bars away before the lip sync and give them back." Yeah, like which is what I'm
no, not
saying.
the
It's like
plastic.
they're
No one
gonna
breaks
slip
it and see it.
whoever. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
but I
said
Yeah.
they're
think
also
maybe
plastic.
this is a tactic for newcomers to see and be
Yeah,
impressed. Because right now the
well, to
board
answer
are
your
not impressed.
yeah, so to answer your question, if it's taking newcomers 14 seasons to come on board Drag Race, you're late. Number one, and
What?
no, and number two, if we're gonna pull this stunt just because y'all are more fixated on trying to bring in newer viewers instead of focusing on those who have been with the show since the beginning, it's like, well, as they say, fuck my drag. Like, why all of a sudden these people, these newbies, these younger generations that you're trying to get to come in are way more important than those of us who have been watching Drag Race from the beginning. Because there are people that could also complain and be like, you know what, the show ain't been the same since y'all transitioned over to VH1 because it was a little edgier. Y'all were taking more chances. Y'all were doing it was more creative back then. Now the show was way too overproduced. It's way too polished, and y'all are taking
Yeah,
the excitement out of the thing. So if that is a reason for what you're saying is why they're doing this, then I just think it's stupid that
got
they're
it. But
doing
that
it for.
Yeah.
but listen, this is something that's never going to end. It's more than just Drag Race. Any TV that we watch, whether it's a cartoon, reality TV show, drama, a series,
Mhm.
what we fell in love with over the years, and it changes, which is why half the time they either cancel or they end, or people don't love the ending. That's always going to happen. Like, that's something we cannot, like, I like, not to be funny, we can't really argue. We can just say we just don't like it, but it's always going to happen. If it's RuPaul or Housewife or Dungeons and Dragons, it's going to change. It's going to change eventually,
True.
and it's always going to evolve, and that's always going to happen. Same thing with music and stuff. It's always going to change. I feel as long as it still has what we're looking for, which is showcasing queens, bringing their talent, doing the runway, snatch game doesn't go away. It's gonna be fun. Will it be
Yeah, I
boring?
just like
Yeah, but it has to change up. It has to change up once in a while. Maybe they'll test it out this season, and next season they won't bring that back. Like, maybe
I
people
just feel
really
like
don't like
I
it.
just think the concept that they should stick with, and I really hope that they decide to do this and not just save it for All Stars, is the eliminated queens get a chance to battle it out for one last chance to get back on the show. So it feels like it's truly earned that, okay, so June Jambalaya, whoever gets eliminated in tomorrow's episode, can go up against that person, and whoever, gets the, whatever, or just doing like one full episode like they did the last one with Silky, where Silky was pretty much knocking everybody out. Give the girls the opportunity. It's like, bring your little extra outfit or whatever stunt y'all need to come up with that when you come on the show, so that way you have a way of trying to come on and do whatever the case is within the budget, of course, because we don't need you trying to shoot yourself out of a damn cannon, just so you can and then into a split, a jump split on the stage, so that way you can stay on the show. I don't, VH1 ain't got that kind of money to be paying that kind of insurance. So, to wrap this up, the bottom two turn out to be Maddie Morphosis and June Jambalaya, where they lip synced and ruined Kylie Minogue.
Tell me about it.
Yes,
I was so upset.
I heard.
Me too. And Lindsay, I immediately thought of you when that lip sync was going on.
I was going to text Lindsay as soon as it started. I was like, not them doing a Kylie lip sync, but I was like, no, wait. She'll watch the episode when she watches it, then we'll chat.
I'm glad you
didn't want to ruin it.
This would have been something, you would have told me. I'm glad no one's. I didn't expect. I was like, I did not. All I heard. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, that's the intro to I Like It. That's Kylie. I'm like, oh, these bitches better bring it.
And they didn't.
Just like my pink stink, it all fell out,
Just
and
like
I did not enjoy it at all. It was no bueno. It's a ginger enema. Ow! It's just not doing it.
And that should have been a double elimination, but that would have been too early.
They got a certain number of episodes to get through.
Exactly. And not only that, but they already did like you chop two and then you brought them back. So to have two leave in that time, and especially since, no shade, if it comes out shady, I don't give a damn. But Maddie to me feels like a stunt casting. Like, I have not really felt like you deserve to be here. Like, I'm not saying that we don't need to have cis hetero drag queens competing. We don't need to have AFAB queen. I'm not saying we don't need to have these people on here. But if you're going to be a part of this show, you need to bring it. And you said you've been doing drag for 5 years. Child, your makeup look worse than Chandler's, and she's been doing drag shorter than you when she came on Drag Race. So I don't understand like how you're on this show saying you've been doing drag for 5 years and your makeup is terrible. Shout out to Alaska for that one. And all your outfits was looking basic as fuck. Like, what was that moon shit she was wearing?
Well, I'm
literally looked like you was wearing some 5-year-old sheets around you and a moon helmet on.
I'm glad you said this, because
yeah, she did survive that lip sync angel.
No, I'm glad you said this, because I was going to say the same thing about June. With Maddie, though, and the only thing I will give is that if her makeup is horrible, so be it. We've talked about this before. It's when they leave the show that their makeup enhances and elevates them. It's glorified. And that's every queen, whether we like them or not, always goes above and beyond. There's a lot of queens that have won, and during, their time in the seasons, their makeup wasn't that great. But I was definitely feeling that type of vibe with June. June is, in my opinion, and the amount of years I've been watching Drag Race and the idolized queens that I adore and I love, and whether they're good at what they do or they're not, I still love them for the many stunts that they do, their makeup, their personality, meeting them in person. June for me is the very first queen, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like she came out of nowhere. Like, even the queens always get sent home first. They're not the best, but you can tell they did something good. For me, June gave me. I started doing drag yesterday, and my friend just told me to get on Drag Race. Like, she looked like she didn't know what she was doing. She didn't have anything in mind. Everything that she was
and not only that, did y'all? And this is the worst thing. you could see the little kitty wig under the other wig. Like I saw the wig that she was wearing underneath before she
Yes.
pulled it off, and this was before. I mean,
But is it
but
true?
yeah, the
Where's the
wig
lie
was
though?
showing under the wig, and it was like, girl,
Yeah.
if she pulls up this wig and shows us that natted ass Monet Exchange kitty wig, I'm going to scream. And this bitch pulls the wig off and shows us that. I'm like, girl, please.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then took the
Remy,
shoes
Jake.
off. That's another. I hate when y'all take your shoes off.
I heard
Like
one
you're
of the
not in
kids say that.
church.
I'm
You're
like,
not Patti LaBelle. Like leave your goddamn shoes on.
yeah. Remy and Jake, what are your opinion when it comes to June and like what we were saying? Like she just looks like she shouldn't have never been on this season. She needed to have waited a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, she said that she's like a name brand queen, right?
Did she have some name brand on?
A personal shopper, I think she said. Shop for
Yeah.
people.
She said
But
she
I
was a
wasn't.
personal stylist. I don't know for who, but okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I'll
then
just say I was
again,
never expecting anything
the
from her.
Piggly Wigglies always has a sale.
Okay.
You said what, Remy?
Wait, somebody, I think your audio is messed up.
Yeah, somebody's audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Remy's.
Oh, okay. Try refreshing. I thought that was me for a second. I'm like, oh, what's going
Yeah.
on? So I started adjusting my microphone, trying to fix some stuff. But okay, so overall, let's stall a little bit so he can come back and give his opinion, and we'll move on to the Cardi B story. So overall, what everybody think of this episode? Y'all really willing? Yeah, they need to step their pussy up, or it was just.
It was. I think they need to step it up a little in the fashion game at least. Because
Yeah.
that's what this episode was about. It was about fashion, and it wasn't there. So they need to step that up. Maybe someone will surprise us. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, it looks like from the teaser alone, the next episode, Rue is really gonna give it to these queens. You could tell she was not happy. Not just like they talk about no more. What did she say? No more flat shoes or sandals or whatever
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
because and we saw Willow win them damn flip of the girl.
Yeah,
Why would you wear those
something
again?
like that.
That's supposed to be an interest look. That's not something that's supposed to be a repeat
Yeah.
offender. So
Yeah.
with that, I'm looking forward to it because and we saw in the sneak peek, it's Maddie Morpheus gets picked because she won the lip sync against Willow Pill, who won the challenge, and they split they wound up dividing the group up, and it's Maddie against Willow, which is going to be interesting because whenever they do these group challenges and you want to be in the leader winds up being in the bottom, ends up going home. So, Maddie, your days might be numbered if you don't step your pussy up in tomorrow's episode. Just saying. But
Do you
anyway,
guys want to
Remy,
predict which group is gonna win? Did
I'm
you
trying to remember
all
who
see
was
that?
on whose team.
Is my audio better now?
Yeah, you sound much better. So what were we gonna say before the audio guys decided to show their ass?
What I was gonna say was, like Jake said, she said that she was a label queen, so it doesn't surprise me that she's someone that's just like, oh, I'll buy this regardless of whether it fits or not, and then just go out and do a show. Like, you're going on RuPaul's Drag Race, and I'm pretty sure one of the first questions they ask when you're auditioning is, do you know how to sew? Like, at this point. And like literally everyone did fine on sewing this season except for June so far.
And Carrie struggled too.
Carrie struggled too a bit, but she was able to pull something together. She was able to get a silhouette going. June just looked like a bunch of like quilts put together.
Yeah, but I mean also Carrie had looks, and then the talent show she did a talent that was really well.
Right. Yeah.
June, her idea and what she wanted to present was awesome, but the execution was.
Yeah. Well, overall,
it's like she didn't know her body, and I noticed that because I think I said that in the previous episode. I was like, you're wearing clothes that don't necessarily look like they fit you, and it came across. It felt like with the long sleeves, and I was like, when we talk about, so it's clearly like she doesn't know her body, or she feels that she's not a certain figure, so she tries to wear clothes to cover that. Like she just looked really uncomfortable in a lot of what she was wearing, especially during the bridal sequence, where she had the little, the what I don't know what those was, but they wasn't no damn flowers.
Mm-hmm.
But when she had that in front of her, you like trying to cover your front. It's like it just came across as very self conscious. And when they sense that, it's like okay, like we know, like you're
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and the judges are gonna pounce on you for that. So yeah. So speaking of pouncing, let's give the congratulations to Cardi B for taking Miss Trashy K to the bank and sucking $4 million out of that bitch.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
Cardi B, one big and
Four
four.
mil. That's crazy.
She was
Yep.
awarded over $4 million, including 1.3 million to cover legal fees in her landmark libel suit against that trash box, Tasha K, and her company, Trashbox Studios LLC. That's not the name, but that's what we're gonna call it, for making false claims about her sexual health, drug use, marriage, and well-being of her child. So she wound up saying things like, "Offset is not Kobe's father. Cardi B's father is a sex offender," which is not true. That Cardi B was having sex with bottles on stage while she was making her cheeks clap for some coins, as in she was a stripper. She has said numerous things. She said that Bobby Lights has AIDS. She said um, Jason Lee has AIDS because apparently everybody who's gay has AIDS according to that old gorilla McGilla gorilla looking bitch. So and I also think Storm Monroe with that old pear shaped body he got is next because here's another thing that queen need to come out of the goddamn closet. See, we want to sit up here and talk about throwing people and spreading lies and all this other shit. He's another one because he was a protege of hers and he was playing up into that. She has made comments about T.S. Madison. She has made comments about anybody who is blogging and even trying to come after Lovely T at one point, talking about that she gave Lovely T everything that she has now, was trying to take her down. But word on the curb is, but not a word on the curb because I've seen it. She had over 1 million followers. She no longer has that. Her sponsors are dropping her because they're in contract with her up until March. So one of her sponsors is about to drop her. And Tasha K, instead of taking that L like the bitch should have, said the following. She basically rallied against the machine and corporate interests while gassing up her own media company, which Cardi's because she ain't got $4 million. But Cardi, take her to the bank as you did. So she said, she did a 12-minute video. I watched like a couple of minutes and I had to turn her off. She was like, these last 4 years fighting this conspiracy case have been extremely challenging. The verdict handed down on Monday was no shock to myself, my husband, or my legal team. We called bluff against a machine that wanted to bully me for not wavering from my personal beliefs. A machine that has corporate interests to protect prostitution, drug use, promiscuity, and some also now you TD Jakes, bitch. Now she want to sit up here and try to act like the Illuminati and all these other people are the reason why. No, ho, your mouth is what got you where you are. Take the L, deal with it. You're out here spreading lies about somebody you don't know. You even went after Nicki Minaj. Now you was all up Nicki Minaj's ass. That's a whole lot of ass, by the way, trying to get her to be on your show. But then when Nicki didn't do it, and then you try to be slick, you was talking shit about her husband being a sex offender, of her being married to her. This is what she said. And then when certain people called her out on it, she tried to backtrack. And then that's when Nicki was like, I ain't fucking with this bitch no more. So, y'all got thoughts on this? Because, I ain't never liked Tasha K. I thought she was always trash. It was always something about her. And I'm glad that this heifer is getting her comeuppance. And instead of her taking this L, yeah, I know. I'm going off, but yes, I'm glad you're reeling me in because I was going on a whole 20-minute tangent and be like, fuck the rest of y'all. I know y'all are here, but anyway, that's what I mean. But yes, take the wheels. Jesus, take the wheel and drive fast. What y'all gotta say?
Go ahead, Remy, Jake.
I have one thing to say.
You better
It's
work.
chocolate. She can. I've never heard of this lady before. She can go. I'm perfectly fine without hearing from her ever again.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, but it's funny because as we've been talking about this in the last episode up until now, and we've been sending each other's clips, just to prepare for the show. Kempire was bringing up a really good point where it's like, and Kris mentioned it last week too. It's like, should we people who do shows like this, panels and have conversations where we talk about hot topics and celebrities and whatnot, should we be nervous about this? And like we all said before, it's as long as we're not doing from a malicious way, we're not stating a lie, and we're not crossing the line, where it can get us into trouble, we shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah,
So
I
yes,
agree.
she can leave and not work. Unfortunately, she will be able to find job. I just heard recently that she is on a specific platform where paid subscribers, it's almost like an OnlyFans for some
Yeah,
sort of
she created her
podcast
own
type thing.
website.
And she, she's still working from there. But I'm glad that this is being brought out to the media, and it it's giving that, hey, it's not okay to do that, because just like the show and any other people who's doing this, you don't have to risque anything to get viewers. You don't have to risque or tarnish your brand by hurting others. Like the stories ourselves. If we present something that someone's doing that's not good, then we're gonna put in our 2 cents. We love it, then we love it. But I strongly don't believe anyone in this panel goes above and beyond to literally trying to hurt someone where it can haunt them and their family, or, get us liable to be sued. So I'm glad
Exactly.
this is being brought out.
Exactly. And that was the point of why I do what I do, from the Kris Avalon show and all the many iterations of YouTube shows that I do, plus putting this show together. It was basically a panel show where we talk about all the things we love to talk about. We always, amongst each other, talk about entertainment news, celebrity, hot topics, gossip, all that stuff. But we're giving an opinion on it. We don't just come and just make up stuff. There's a big difference between, what Tasha K does and what people like us do. So when I hear certain other bloggers, Funky Dineva, going on social media and saying that, this is going to affect all of us. No, it's not. It's going to affect those of y'all that like to run off with your mouth and saying stuff that is not fact.
Mm-hmm.
She went around saying
Agreed.
Wendy Williams' husband is gay. She was the one that was going around saying all these different things about all these people and insinuating people got AIDS and this and that. Mind you, I didn't know the bitch worked for the CDC or the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. So I didn't know how she knew that everybody that she implied was a coke addict, was on this type of drug, had this type of virus or this disease. Like, apparently, what, you got privy to people records, and if you was working for the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, you would know that would be grounds for firing if you were to spill someone's personal business about their sexual history or whatever kind of diseases they have, because those are the contracts they make your ass sign before you can even put that out there. So you can't be going around here making up all these stories and this, that, and the other, and thinking that it's perfectly okay and thinking, oh, it's a violation of my speech. That is not what that means. So I love how these are the same people that run around here waving the Constitution, don't even know what the first couple of words is in the Constitution. So for her to say all these other things, she is making it bad on herself. Like I was saying before, we don't do that. We don't go around just making up lies. Like, we'll tell a story of what's going on, or things that we hear within the media that are legitimate stories that we're picking out or we're bringing to the forefront, and we're giving our opinion on it. And we'll throw a little shade or make a little joke and this, that, and the other, but we're not out here maliciously saying things about people because we want clicks, likes, and views, and we want to be able to monetize whatever the case is. So when you put that evil out there, when you're making up stories about, oh, Hollywood is like this, and all these evil things is going around, like her and that other one that I mentioned earlier, the one with the pear-shaped body, that was going up in here making up stories about, you ain't never stepped foot inside of a Hollywood situation. Yeah. You ain't never worked on a movie set. You have never been invited to an industry party. I've been to all of that shit. I've been in and out of this industry for almost 20 years. So for y'all to sit up in here and make this, I'm literally looking at you like, you sit up in here lying. And that's what pisses me off about stuff like that. So overall, congratulations to you, Cardi. I know people will say, oh, she should be a little more lenient. For fucking what? First of all, she wasn't thinking. She ain't had that energy when she was saying all that stuff about Cardi. So why should Cardi let her foot off her neck? And
what's the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason, bitch? I don't need to explain myself to you. And what was the reason?
What's the Adama? What was the reason?
I need that as a ringtone. What was the reason?
I want to add this before we forget. At some point before the episode ends, we need to update with the Drag Fantasy League before we forget, because we said we're going to do this in every episode. About that. So we'll push that in before anytime before the episode ends. We need to.
Because I was just thinking about that. Is that, well, you know what? We'll do that before we go to break. We'll have Remy bring that up, because I feel like it changes the situation, because now that we've apparently two of the queens that we thought was eliminated, how does that change the way you already put together the whole fantasy league? Because I know
none of us gets it. Too late. Sorry.
Yeah, and EJ did say that when we were talking, we had a little meeting the other day, that he loves Fantasy League idea because he didn't even know we
Yes,
was doing it. I was like, yeah, it was kind of surprised.
I
But
love
yeah.
it.
So let's wrap that up because I could go on with this whole
Yes, we got it.
trashy
What's
cake
the
story
next
for hours.
topic, Chris?
So the next topic, Celebrity Big Brother 3. So
Ooh.
we talked about it
Yes.
in for the past couple of weeks we talked about this rumored cast. We also brought up in the yesterday's episode, and the funny thing was the actual list dropped as the episode that we were doing yesterday, the episode, well, the taped episode was airing. So I'm like, and I said that I was like, I bet you by the time this episode aired, we probably gonna find out who's on the show. So we found out, and yeah, it ain't the. I'd rather the fantasy one.
Yeah.
I prefer
It's
I prefer the
disappointing.
rumor list over this actual list.
This is
So
probably why, though. Everyone was so hyped for
yeah,
it.
so while EJ pulls up that cast photo that I sent him, we gonna read, or I'll read, the list of meh reality stars on the F list. Yeah, I think Kathy Griffin got higher ranks than these heifers.
They're stars. They're reality stars. Is that what we're calling them now?
Oh,
Reality-ish stuff, or
reality.
fame-ish. We'll call them fame-ish, not famous, fame-ish.
Fame-ish.
Wait, what? It said where? Oh, that part. Where she? Oh, word on the street, and I don't know if this is true. So we'll say alleged. There was an alleged story that I was reading, but I don't know if this is true or not. That Shangela has COVID. So, and then I also heard that Tiffany Pollard refused to be vaccinated or something or another. So,
Yeah, I heard that as well.
allegedly. So we'll say that because you know what we need? We need that Wendy Williams allegedly. We need that as like a soundbite for
Yeah,
the show. But anyway,
we
so
should.
the people that's going to be competing is NBA star and former Khloe Ferratu. First of all, did y'all see that picture of Khloe Kardashian with them long fingernails, with them long fingers, and it was mad white and it didn't match her
What?
tan? It's on my Facebook. I'm posting on my
Were
Instagram.
you about to call her close Ferratu?
Yeah, she was giving me no
Oh my
Ferratu with the fingers,
god.
so I call her Khloe
You
Ferratu.
know, the
But
fans of the
anyway,
Kardashians here is so hard. Can we listen to this list already?
Jesus
yeah, let me get
Christ.
to the list because I'm getting like to read. I'm getting long winded. Okay, so NBA star Lamar Odom, TV personality Teddy Mellencamp, former Miss USA Shayna Moakler, who used to bang Travis Barker and who was now engaged to
Mm.
her sister. What's the other one name with the K? And Carson Kressley. So then we didn't get Nene, but we got Cynthia from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Olympian ice skater Murray Nagasu. I don't know who that is. Singer / influencer Todrick Hall. NSYNC's Chris Kirkpatrick. Y'all couldn't even get fucking Joey Fat One or what's JC Chazé. What he up to? Different Strokes actor Todd Bridges, who will show up to an envelope opening at this point. Saturday Night Live alumnus Chris Kattan, UFC fighter Misha Cupcake Tate, and that is who is a part of this show. So, without further
Why
ado,
did the envelope comment hit me like 20 seconds later?
Why do I feel like that's more of a Teddy Mellencamp type of thing? I feel like she is reaching for familiarity like this. She's just doing
she
one of
really
these.
is. I mean, look,
She
fame is
said,
one hell of a drug, like cocaine. Shout out
listen,
to Rick James.
everyone had a nice introduction. Not like oh, I loved every single one. Like, hey, my name is so and so. You may
Are
know
you talking
me
about the Twitter video?
from this place or that place or whatever. I think this is cute. Some people mentioned two things. One person mentioned one, but Charger Call was like, hey, this Charger Call, you may know me from YouTube, RuPaul's Drag Race,
And not
dancer,
paying your
singer,
employees?
entrepreneur, dancing, celebrity, grocery shopping, buying meats down the aisle, getting my strawberries, parking my car, getting my hat, pressing my
Not
pants,
this.
It
opening
was
my
very
windows
that.
down. I was just like, whoa, where did he come from with this? He
No,
gave us
the
a
one that
catalog.
the one that really got me was JC Chavez when he was like, "Oh, you may know me from NSYNC and Chip Skylark on Fairly Odd Parents."
Yeah.
Yes.
That is, I was like, is that really your claim to fame? Is that really where we're going? Fairly Odd
I
Parents?
think
Mind you, I've never seen a
yeah.
single episode of Fairly Odd Parents, so I didn't even know he was on
I
that.
love the
Yeah.
Fairy Odd
Yeah.
Parents. I love him. I'm sure he made good coins off of that, and I
On
think
like the 3 episodes he was on.
I love it. I love it. Don't be hating on Chip, okay?
Okay.
Not
No,
Chip.
All jokes aside, I've never seen the show. Like I know of it, I don't really follow it. The only time I seen it was overseas because of New York. Like that's the only time. And thanks to Remy for letting me know she was on. If not, I would have never known. But other than that, you know, I wouldn't run to see it. Now the fantasy one that we've been talking about, I remember I did say, "Oh, I might watch it just because there's a lot more people that
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing." Because it's not, eh,
Yeah.
I'll sit back with my ginger ale enema. You know what it is? You know what this cast is missing? Some ew, ew,
Pretty much.
ew,
Oh, is
ew.
Carson not enough for you?
No,
No.
not enough. Not
No.
enough. No,
Everybody knows that
no.
Ross Matthews is a wee bit gayer than Carson.
I love me some Carson, but he doesn't bring enough for me to want to watch the show. The show
You
needs some
know,
more ew.
this cast is missing a cis het white drag queen. Not necessarily Maddie Morphosis, but that's what they're missing for that extra
That's a lot. So Jake, you are from what you were telling us before, you are a Big Brother fan.
Yes,
Um,
I am.
will you be watching this episode, and what do you think of this overall tired ass cast?
I'm gonna start by saying I will watch it because I've watched,
Okay.
including the one in Canada and some in the UK. Um, but I will say that I am underwhelmed by the cast because I mean they're just not. They're not.
They're not ow. They're not
Yeah.
ow.
You can't even
I,
finish
I
the
Um,
sentence like this is
I'm
not.
laughing because I'm
but
seeing how Jake is thinking right now, and he's like, I'm trying to find something positive because I do like this show, but
yeah,
it's not it. I see it. I see the wheel
It's
turning. You're like,
look,
how
I'm
do I
just
say it
look
without?
when we not feeling something, we just say it, child. Like
yeah.
fuck positivity.
I'm just embracing my inner Violet Chachki. No, no, just no. But sometimes the cat, like the seasons with the one with like the beginning, just like you're not looking forward to it. Sometimes those end up being the best seasons because you're completely let down. And then I'm also just like a really big fan of like the strategic side of the whole Big Brother thing. So
Mhm.
then who knows? Might just cut a bitch's throat, and then we'll just be like, all right then.
And now the
from the
show
couple of seasons
begins.
that I did see, I also like the strategic side and like the game of the whole season, like
Yeah.
the aspect of it. But there's just nobody on this cast that's making me be like, oh my god, I have to watch it. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I'd be gagged if Todrick went home first. I'll just say that.
Well,
And
that's my wish, but
ooh.
Oh.
Like I said, his wheels are turning. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just say it.
Because the last one I did see, they had this guy from Mean Girls, Aaron Samuels,
oh yeah.
and
Mm.
I was like, oh, he's probably gonna make it far. Nope, they sent him home first.
No, they sent him home
Is it?
first.
Wasn't he on the season with Candy?
Yeah.
No, he. Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Second.
I
Yeah,
thought
the
he
second
was on the
season.
season with Ross Matthews.
No.
Oh,
I
Oh,
love
Carson
me a little
Kressley has
Ross
some big shoes to
Matthews.
fill because Ross played amazingly and deserved to
I
win his season.
Oh, I love me some
I
Ross.
was gonna say I actually met him from Mean Girls when I was in LA.
mm.
He good looking in person. I was like, oh, wait
Yep,
a
he
minute. I was
is.
like, why he look familiar? He was sitting with his man because we was at Hamburger Mary's in because they have two of them. We was in oh my god, which one was it? It doesn't matter. But we were at Hamburger Mary's. There was a drag performance. Who was one? Kylie Sonique Love was performing that day, and Silky was there too performing. And Kylie definitely turns it out in front of a live audience. I didn't realize all that until that was my first time there. But anyway, I was staring at him. I'm like, oh my god, he's fine. But then his man was cute too. But I think that's the one. I think that he married the guy that he was dating at the time. Now, but yeah, I did like the season with Tamar Braxton. I will say that I was never a Big Brother fan, and I've never been somebody who's been into it. But the Tamar Braxton season, I definitely did watch, and she deserved her win. She definitely was strategic in the situation. But the difference between Tamar versus this current cast, Tamar is entertaining. Tamar knows how to work reality TV and keep us engaged with some of the isms that she used. Quite as it could, it comes from a lot of it comes from us, but for the most part, Tamar is very entertaining. This cast, I don't see it. I don't care how gay you are. Todrick is, I don't feel like gonna give it to us, although he might be a bit of a stunt queen. I mean, quite as he allegedly don't pay employees. So he might be able to find ways of, robbing Peter to pay Paul
He's
and
a
being manipulative.
stunt
And
queen, an exercise queen, a dancing queen, a walking queen, a rolling up to the show queen.
But to me, it's like Teddy don't have no backbone, so I wouldn't be surprised if she going first.
Well, we'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will. So moving right along. So gay porn star Rafael Alencar and former Real Housewives of Orange County cast member Tamra Judge recently appeared on Mark McNamara's Discretion Advised podcast, where Alencar employed shockingly little discretion in discussing his days as a sex worker for the stars. So in the clip of one of the episodes, he spoke openly about sex handlers, NDAs, and a certain Hollywood actor who he alleges did bad things to the guys he used to hire, saying he didn't pay over 100 people. And one of them, those are the Chloe hands. I told you, Chloe Farah too.
Oh my god.
It's given Purdue.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Why is her hands are white, but every other part of her is tan? That's just like, that's great.
I don't like that.
How do you wipe your ass with them hands? But anyway, so back to the Alencar situation. But apparently the person he was talking about that wasn't paying, because I know we got that clip that EJ's gonna play. I'll give you a hint. He was in Pulp Fiction and a Scientologist. So that's who he was talking about, allegedly.
JT?
Yes, sir.
100 people. And he got in trouble for that.
Okay, let's not get you in any trouble anymore. My last question.
No, please don't.
I would choose Tom Cruise because he has all the new fillers in his cheeks, and I feel like that'd be good.
Tom Cruise. You know his wife knows about it, right?
Wait, Tom's knows about it?
I don't know that.
The wife knows about it. Him.
Neither one are married.
Isn't Tom married?
The one that divorced the brunette, the dark. Yeah, she knew about it.
She knew that you had with him.
No, not that. No.
But this sounds like a big lawsuit.
Shout out to TikTok.
Can I just tell you, I don't like that. I didn't like that. You're just being messy for. If you had sex with Tom Cruise or whoever else, and I don't know if they bleeped out Katie Holmes. I'm assuming that's what they bleeped out.
Yes, I'm assuming
that is what we bleeped out.
Yeah. If she knew. Yeah, that's between them. Why you? I don't like that.
Yes.
See, this is what I love about this show, because I was like, I want to bring this up, and I'm just glad we got the instant reaction from you, like, I don't like that.
No, it's the way that he said it too. He's just like so.
He was being messy.
I'm bragging, but I don't want to.
I'm bragging, but I don't want to say. I don't want to say no more.
Yeah.
I don't want to say no more.
It wasn't me. It was
Yeah, I don't like that. And the outing thing. This is another thing that bothers me a lot. Like, why are you outing? Like, this is why a lot of times, these like, especially like these little video girls and the video vixens are the ones who get bangs out by Future and the Drakes of the world and the Chris Browns of the world. Like, you go up to them, you try to set them up, which is why they put hot sauce and condoms, because you are a stunt queen and scammer, and you're always trying to get these people into trouble. My thing is, like, you go lay up with them for then you to rat them out makes no sense. Like, stop doing that, and especially with the gay community too. Like, stop outing people. None of us wants download people. We don't, but they're fighting their own demons, and there's reasons why they are the way that they are, and we got to stop outing them by you walking around parading it. I'm glad that Remy was the first one to say it. I'm like, here I go. I'm going to be the first one to say it. It pisses me off, but it's true. Like, it's like, what is the point of that? You're being messy for clout. That's all
it was, for me, it wasn't even just what he was saying. It was how he was saying it. It was just like
being
how
messy.
smugly he was coming off about it. Yeah, like,
And for TikTok, girl.
I'm glad Tamra was like, sounds like a lawsuit. Like she was like, I'm not getting involved.
I also think from her end that she's being smart, like we would in this show, where it's like she picked up. It could have been she cares for it and she doesn't want that drama, but she's also thinking, there's gonna be a problem, and I'm not trying to get canceled, and I want my show to get canceled. So I think that was a very smart move of her to be like, yeah, let's not do that. I smell it. And if someone was to get in trouble, we all know just by the audio, Tamra would be excluded off of this because she's
exactly like we just had the situation with Tasha K. Like the Tasha K situation.
Yes, exactly.
Like you doing that, it's the flip side will be with Tamra and that show is that you're spilling tea about people when you probably most likely signed the NDA. We're not supposed to be spilling people's tea. And yes, we've heard the rumors about Tom Cruise and John
For
Travolta
years.
and the
Years.
saunas and how Tom Cruise. There's been some stories I've heard about him, and I'm not gonna say it here because I like doing this show, and I'm not trying to get sued. So I'm gonna take that to my grave, but we'll just talk about it when the camera's off. But you know, with that, and don't get me wrong, I live for the grist of the mill. It's entertaining, it's that and the third, but I don't agree with outing people for the sake of outing people. Like, if we want to have kitchen table talk, I think that's great.
Yes.
But what I am for is outing people who do harm to our community. So when
Yes.
you have politicians and celebrities who have made derogatory
Yes.
comments towards the trans community, the gay
Yes.
community, whatever, and you
Yes.
know for a fact that they're out here cruising the gay bars or bathroom
Yes.
stalls or the public parks or even on social media looking for trade. Those are the people I'm all for you outing. Any politician, any politicians y'all out here want to, do that I am for, because you're causing harm for our community and now you don't want to be outed. Like that, I'm for. But outing celebrities for the sake of outing celebrities just to be messy, I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it is super messy. I feel like there's nothing wrong with like hearing a rumor, but like if you're gonna put it like on such a large scale like a show, then it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Agreed.
mean?
Mm.
And then you
I
heard
also
in their
think Tamara's
family.
saving. No, go ahead.
No, that was it. Like, yeah, you also heard in their family. It goes back to like the whole Cardi B thing. Like you don't know who you're going to hurt. You just don't know. But you were gonna say something, Remy?
I was gonna say I also think Tamara's saving face because she knows she's coming back to TV in a few months on this Real Housewives Ultimate Girls trip. She don't want to get canceled before that comes out.
Mm-hmm. Very smart. I'm telling you.
And speaking
It's
of
smart.
which, what do y'all think about the fact? Because I'll get my opinion on it in a second. But they're apparently going to be airing season 1 of Ultimate Girls Trip on Bravo now, after it was just on Peacock. So what do
It's
y'all
fine.
think?
I already saw it.
That's the thing.
I did too.
No, right,
That's
but I
like-
think that's the only reason why they're doing it. It's almost like when you saw something from the theater and they release it like on all streaming platforms. You already saw it, so you're not running to see it unless you really like it. So this is more of a chance for people to see it. They're not going to get more views from whatever they've seen when it actually aired when it was
No,
supposed to.
I think it's a ploy to get more subscribers to Peacock, because just like VH1 now, after they finish playing the episodes of Drag Race, they play All Stars season 6, or they'll play Queen of the Universe right after. Like these seasons have already ended. I think they're just trying to like show people, hey, this is the content we have on this platform. So when the next season of this comes out, you know where to find it. Come subscribe to Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good to do a sneak peek. Like what VH1 was doing was they would show the first episode of Queen of the Universe, and then the next week they would show the first episode of All Stars. What Bravo's doing is airing the entire season. So to me, I look at it as, what is the point of me subscribing to Peacock when I know I could just wait a couple of months and they'll put the whole season up on Bravo? Like, to me, it just doesn't make sense from a promotional standpoint. But that's what y'all want to do over there, because as is Kevin, a lot of y'all shows is going in the toilet. Like, we already have Frederick leaving $1 million listing, so y'all running out of shows and everything over there. And
but that's the same thing.
tired.
That's the same thing as any streaming service, like Disney. Like they release a movie, and if you want to see it for $30 on Disney, what's the point of buying it when 4 months later you'll get to see it for free on Disney? It's the same thing. It's really the same thing. Like, yeah, I want you to know on Peacock. Now you get to see it, but the hype is over because you could have seen it on YouTube. People talk about it. Shows like this do the review on it. So you're not losing anything. It's like rewatching something that already aired.
Quiet as it's kept. I don't pay for Peacock anyway. The only thing I watch on there is Real Housewives of Miami, and I got my website in which I watch it for free. So they will not be getting my little $4.
Yeah, you don't want them guns. They be like, oh, who it is? Let me try to find out his information. Be like, oh, you stealing? Oh, please, we all do it.
We're not doing it.
Express VPN.
Okay. Oh, I got that too. Allegedly.
We love the pirate.
But okay. So we need to. So before we get to our Real Housewives of New Jersey situation that we're going to be doing, we're going to wrap this thing about Miss Salt Lake City. So the last episode that we did, we talked about Jennie Nguyen and the racist post that came back to haunt her on her social media. So when we were talking about it, and then the episode that aired yesterday, the taped episode, it was in the throes of it had just happened around the time when we talked about it. But then since then we found out that she's been fired after Bravo took a sweet ass time reprimanding her for what she had said about Black folks. But which kind of makes me also think about, you know what? Bravo, y'all have a history of taking y'all sweet time when it comes to certain shit. And that's why I'm glad Nene went and put y'all on blast over the alleged racist stuff that she was saying that she was enduring when she was over at Housewives. But anyway, so Bravo has ceased filming with Jennie Nguyen, and she will no longer be a cast member on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Bravo said in a late-ass statement on Tuesday. We recognize we failed to take appropriate action once her offensive social media posts were brought to our attention. Moving forward, we will work to improve our processes to ensure we make better informed and more thoughtful casting decisions. Well, how many years y'all had the opportunity of doing this and y'all still didn't do it? They said in this post, Nguyen has yet to publicly comment on the filing, but of course I did a little research. Excuse me, and she did speak on it. She went on her Instagram Live on Wednesday, excuse me, and blamed the incident on her social team at the time, but also accept the responsibility for her actions, saying, I just want you to understand that during that time, I had a team of people that were helping me. Whether they posted or I posted, it doesn't really matter at this point. This is what she said according to page 6. For me, it's on my account, and I take full responsibility and accountability for what was posted. I know I hurt a lot of people. My viewpoint during that time in 2020 was emotional, and it brings back a lot of memories during the time which we went through such a tragic, terrible year. Saying, I want you to understand that my political stance, I still support that. I'm very proud to be a Republican. I'm proud to be able to say I have the freedom of speech too and to have an opinion. Well, girl, that opinion of yours got your ass unemployed on Bravo. So it's funny how she's sitting there I take responsibility, but is also under the same breath saying that your social media handlers, whatever, was posting stories about Black people and protesters at a Black Lives Matter protest. You have a right to run them over. Like you're pulling that stuff out there. This bitch is tired.
Let me tell you.
And delayed. What do y'all have to say?
Let me tell you. She wasn't even casted at the time that post was made. They were not filming for the season, so she did not have no social media manager. Who is she to have a social media manager? She's just some rich woman who lives in Salt Lake City, or rich for whatever the reasons are. I call bullshit. I smell bullshit. I also feel like her apology was like, I'm apologizing for what I said, but I still stand by what I said because I said what I said. And I'm like, okay, well, you still don't have a job now because of it. So you could worry about, I guess you have more time to be at home to spend time with your husband, who's too concerned about having sister wives. Now you could probably give him the baby that he wants.
You know, we shouldn't be surprised. I feel like, so listen, the Salt Lake City franchise in itself, I don't want to be mean. I'm enjoying the season, but there are a whole bunch of scammers and Republicans and wishy-washy, and it's that whole franchise itself. It's really bad and crazy. What she needs to understand is, just as much as she was telling us, she shouldn't be punished because she's a Republican and she has certain beliefs. 1,000%, we're not taking that away from you. But you have to be cautious with what you say and how you say it. It's so funny because I've had a few conversations with different people just to get what is it that you were perceiving from this. And I think that's another thing that Jen is lacking on. It's own it. It was done. It was on your site. You made a mistake. Take it. Now, should you want to explain yourself? And I think, has she been more human and been like, listen, I understand this post hurt you, but let me tell you why. Not that it makes it okay, but why I posted what I posted, where it was coming from. Such as, if she wants to talk about police or whatever, let's go follow that. Let's go with that. Let's not stereotype everyone. I get it. But she didn't. She was basically saying, just like Remy said, listen, I'm sorry, but I said what I said. I'm sorry, but I should be allowed to feel how I feel. And I think she's missing the point. No one is telling her you can't be a Republican. No one is. Actually, no one's even talking about,
I'm tired of people hiding behind the whole Republican
they always do that.
to make an excuse
Listen, we're
for their racist
not Republicans.
commentary.
Thank you.
I will say that before she said it, I didn't even cross my mind. I was like, she's probably a Republican. It was not even a thought.
Mine either. I don't sit and follow what everybody's political belief is.
Isn't that funny? And as bad as, listen, I'm not a Republican. I'm pretty sure none of us are. We have our reasons of why, but it's certain situations like this, that's like, don't fall behind the belief of because I'm a Republican, I'm this way, because it doesn't fall for that. And my thing is, just own it. Just own it. Just know where you're coming from. Apologize for that and start over. I think you have a bigger chance. Would you come back to the show? Probably not, but maybe come back in a season or two after people have forgiven you. Listen, half these other cast members are already doing scamacious things, so who knows if their time is going to be up as well. So my thing is, you should go ahead and fix that. You did a disservice by doing this live, holding this friend accountable on your side, who is also saying, well, she's apologizing. But what is the apology for? Just like Remy said, you said, I'm sorry, but I said what I said. So what is it for?
That's what the apology is. It's what was said, an apology.
An
apology. And she refuses to apologize. But I did find it funny that there was because I was thinking about this earlier, and this pissed me off. So they were saying that she said, I don't tolerate violence, but I do support my law enforcement, which quite as is kept. The law enforcement is notorious for shooting unarmed black folks. But I digress. I know with every profession there's good and there's bad. I don't support the bad. I don't support the brutality with black people or with any race. Okay, sis. But we just posted that picture that we had where you do support it. But I do support my law enforcement, blah, blah. And that doesn't make me racist. Okay, sis. To support my political stance, that does not make me a racist. I want you to understand it. Bitch, you are a racist. If it walks like a slanted-eyed duck and quacks like a slanted-eyed duck, it's a racist ass bitch. So then she also attempted to win back her followers by having a friend stick up for her, some tired ass black queen who insisted that the ex-housewife is not a racist. Over time, I did have to educate her on the whole Black Lives Matter and everything like that because I'm a black gay child. I'm done. I am so sick of these Herschel Walker son types. You know, that little gay queen, the little Republican that be all over social media talking about, oh, my gas price is too expensive. Mind you, your father's a football player married to a white woman and you hate being a gay man and black. Or these Candace Owen types that just because you're black and gay, that excuses the behavior. First of all, we already say this, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Notorious, where we got house Negroes that will sit and sell their own people. Like, don't give me that shit. I don't give a damn if your ass is black, gay, got a whole new asshole, whatever the case is.
Chris.
If you're racist, you're racist. And I don't care if the person is black. That is not, my black friend, my gay friend defends it, so it should be okay. It's like, no, wrong is wrong. And what you posted is wrong, and now you can be held accountable. But I do agree, Bravo, y'all need to do way better with the cast. Like, what do y'all have these people doing where, when we watch so many other reality shows, you have people who they're giving psych evals and having to go through this whole ringer to get cast on a show. What is Bravo doing? But y'all just be hiring scammers and all kinds of crazy people to be doing these shows. Like, I just don't get y'all whole process. But maybe they don't have somebody doing it.
They don't. Well, listen, don't forget this. It's at the end of the day, this show pays you but a penny of what you're really worth. You have to come with money. So you have to be somebody from that caliber. And listen, we know some people, or we know people of people. There's some people with money who would never in a million years want to do this type of show. Are you crazy? Do a housewife, do a this, do a that, show off my life, my luxury. Never. CEOs of companies, they would never. So they have to find the next bitch who's thirsty for it. They don't need the money. They're just thirsty for the fame. So I can see why, not to make it okay, but I can see why they don't do background checks. What they'll do is they're willing to take back that drama and that criticism. Because what they're seeing right now is, okay, now we have a whole bunch of people who's going to be viewing our show to make sure. Is that my
head? I hear it too.
Is that EJ playing out the music?
Background music.
Yes, that is him. I was like, wait a minute, isn't that the Drink and Drag theme song? I'm like, why am I hearing the theme song?
No, but yeah, going back to it, it's just like, listen, there's no one who's saying, like, let me put it this way, living the life that I live, if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't do a show like Housewives. Hell no, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't.
Quiet as it's kept is they're already filming season 3 and they're still currently casting for new people for season 3. So hopefully whoever they choose is going to be a better representation or won't besmirch the Bravo name again in that sense. Hiring a flat out racist.
Yeah, just be a better person in general.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, we're gonna take a break because child, we are way over. We are way into the past hour. We want to get to this um, Real Housewives of New Jersey show that we're going to be doing that's coming up next. Oh, it's basically it's our Jersey Housewives special. So we're going to come back. We're going to play a little game. We're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming season, things that we love, we don't love about the past season, and a whole lot more. So don't go away. We'll be right back with Mo of Drinks and Drag with myself, Remy, Lindsay, and our very special guest, Jackie Jackson. Uh-oh, what's going on? Take me out to a break. Oh, look at the spilling tea behind the scene. Ooh, bitch. Honey. Okay, welcome back to Drinks and Drag. Okay, let's bring everybody in the room. Because, with that whole dip, pop, dip, and spin in between the commercial, honey, we was spilling tea. We can't say it here, Kiki. Like we were talking about before, we're not going to spill nobody's tea, but that was funny.
No, hold on. Let me get close. I don't want to get sued. That sounds like a lawsuit.
See,
I told you guys I don't gossip anymore.
I don't. No, you
I don't
don't.
And one
gossip
gossip, you
anymore.
ain't hear that from me.
Remy doesn't gossip, and I don't give real opinions.
Can I just say the girls are going in on Khloe Kardashian and them long ass fingers. You got a child talking about some of my friends said that's an alien. One person posted ET's fingers.
They hate
Another
us.
one posted her alleged
But I'm
father,
telling you,
her alleged daddy. You know, with the glove don't fit, you
but the
must have
minute
quit.
any one of these Kardashians walks in their space, they're gonna be kissing their fake asses. So that's good. All right.
Okay,
So
well,
welcome
back to our
the
regularly scheduled program.
welcome back to the second segment. All right, y'all. So we've
In the words of
mentioned this before.
Amanda, bloop.
Bloop, bloop. Yes, and thank you, Amanda, for watching. She was watching our show last night as well. Yeah, so
I saw in the comments.
But
anyway,
the second part, we're here, the second segment of the show, what we've been talking about, which is the premiere Get Ready, Set, Go for the New Jersey Housewives. I know I'm excited for this. How are you guys feeling?
I am too.
I'm excited.
I will say this, and I'm going to have to come at it from a different standpoint because we will talk about this. That I know you and Remy have been way more invested in Jersey than I have. Like I watched from the beginning, you know, with the Manzos and everything, and when we had Siggy Flicker and all of them on the show. So there will be moments where I will be chiming in, and give my opinion when it's warranted. But for the most part, I'm gonna just moderate and let y'all take it over, and I'll chime in when I need to. But based on the trailer this season, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Jersey Housewives, especially because I don't like Teresa's man. But that we're gonna hold on to that until we get around. Yeah. Oh, she does. She's giving me Pennywise tease with that whole look.
So just to start it off, Remy and I will kick it off. Let's go with the cast itself right now. So we have Margaret Joseph coming back. We have Teresa Giudice, definitely the Queen Bee, the original, the OG housewife. She's still on the show. Melissa Gorga, Jackie Gold. What's her last name? Jackie
Goldschneider.
Goldschneider.
Oh, Schneider. Wow.
Goldschneider.
Dolores Cantina.
He's Jewish.
And Jennifer Aiden and Joe Gorga.
You forgot Gia Giudice.
Oh, and newcomer Gina Giudice.
She makes it. Oh wait, she's officially part. I mean, she's always been a part of the show.
No, but the trailer for the season gave her a very housewife moment where it's just like, you're just somebody's daughter. Like, hello.
Can I just say before you get to that, like Teresa? I mean, Teresa has some beautiful freaking kids. Like I have to literally say, like those girls have grown up so much. And looking at them, like I remember when, like I just be feeling like I knew them for. I'm like I remember when you was little. Like sometimes when
I remember when she was waking up in the morning thinking about so many things.
I did say earlier that we need a beat behind that song because when Lindsay was
find it.
Okay. We need a remix. We need the same people that's remixing Madonna's upcoming alleged remix album to do a remix for that.
But before we already
look at Black Dolores,
who the cast is, right? Before we give our actual opinion, I do want to mention that dare I say this is the first time in all of Housewives history that, especially this franchise, has kept the consistent cast for more than 3 seasons. Because I think this is season 4 that the same ladies, none added, none taken away, no one got demoted, has been the same.
I'm still reading that Not All Diamonds Are Rosé book or whatever, and I actually finished the Jersey chapter. Just finished the Jersey chapter, moving on into Beverly Hills now, so I'll have tea on that when we get to Beverly Hills.
Okay.
But they were saying that for Jersey specifically, because of how it was introduced, you had Dina and Caroline, the 2 sisters together. You had Jacqueline, who was a sister-in-law to them as well. And then it was all family oriented. And that's why the people that they shuffle in and out around the cast, with the exception of Jennifer, Jackie, and Margaret, everybody has been in one way or another related. So it's
that makes sense. It's true.
And they try to keep that family dynamic because it is a bunch of Italians from Jersey and everything, and they're very family oriented. It's they don't want to pull someone like, for example, Snooki, who is not within that, like we spoke about, within that family dynamic, and put her in because she's going to be an outsider amongst the cast. So that's why they've been kind of
and her whole connection would be. And her whole connection would be basically because she's friends with Melissa and they live around the corner from each other. So that's not enough to have her cast on the show. even though I did live for the drama that we had with, yes, come on, cast photo.
Yeah.
I did live for, and I don't particularly care for Jennifer, but
I
that's
love
near.
Jennifer.
I love her.
She
But okay,
messy, but that's probably
so
why. But I do
yeah.
agree. But to piggyback off of what Remy was saying, I'm glad you brought that up because that was something that was like my overall assessment of what I've taken from the Jersey Housewives. I think that is why this show has stood out amongst, even though I've checked in and out, like I haven't officially stayed aboard because there were moments, and we're going to talk about it later on with based off Lindsay's questions, why I kind of checked out and now why I'm kind of coming back into the show. What I do agree with you on is the fact that it is very family oriented, and that's what I've always taken from the show. That it's always stayed within the basis of what, even though they have brought people in, and they've had their one season offs and that sort of thing. The basis of Jersey Housewives that makes it stand amongst all the other ones is the fact that family has always it's the Fast and the Furious of Housewives. Basically, it's always been family oriented. They've always stuck within that, and that's why I believe this show has stood out amongst all the other ones where Atlanta's struggling and New York is struggling and trying to find a good cast, and Beverly Hills is trying to bring people in and try this one and that one and getting rid of this one. So I think that's one of the things that I love about Jersey, versus all the other ones, is that Jersey has stuck by the core of what this show was about and why it's lasted as long as it has.
And they were also saying that, like, when they bring people who are outside of that, they necessarily don't work out. Because think about it. Amber didn't work out. She was putting on for the cameras.
We're going to talk about her.
The twins didn't work out.
Which I did love. We'll talk about,
I like the twins, too.
Like, the people that they choose, like, they either put on for the cameras and they're not genuine, or they just don't mix well with the dynamic. So they usually end up having to X them. That's why Kathy lasted as long as she did, and Rosie as well, But yeah,
I like the Wakilis.
I love the Wakilis, but
I kind of want them to come back.
I would love for them to come back, but Teresa does play a big part when
she does, and we're gonna talk about that too.
Big part, yes. When it comes to the shows and people that's there. What I did want to say is, like Kris was saying before, and how Remy mentioned, like how they keep it family oriented. I think they have something there that I don't understand why, besides Beverly Hills right now at this point, because Beverly Hills is finally, right before the Erica.
Wait, is that Victoria Gotti?
I love me some Victoria Gotti. Who should have been on a long time.
She has been on the show, so
no, but who should have been like really.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like, they're finding the elements that's working for them. And it's working for the show and for the cast. And I knew that they had something, a strong gem, when the year that Teresa was going to go to prison and, they did their reunion and Andy looked at her and was like, yo, this may be your last reunion. So everyone was thinking, like, what's going to happen to the Jersey Housewife franchise? Because once Teresa's gone, literally all the OGs are gone. What's going on? What's going to happen? So a lot of people assume we're just going to get a new housewife. We're going to have to get used to it, or they're going to bring Dina back, or Jacqueline, or whatever again. And the thing is, the fact that they stopped filming for an entire year and a half, just to wait for her to come back so they can continue picking up the story, says a lot about Teresa and how the show evolved and keeping it as exactly what you guys were saying, which I really never thought about it, in the sense of keeping it family and keeping it home. And I think we're so invested because we literally know everybody. Everybody that walks in and out of the franchise, in the Jersey franchise, we know their life story. We know their family, their husbands. No one's missing. No one's hiding. The drama is real, and the drama sits between them. Which was making me really happy with this cast. So my question on to you before I ask the next one is if we can have the faces of the ladies up so everyone can see who we're talking about. As of right now, yes, please. Who are your favorites and who are your least favorites of this cast?
Well, I'll start. I like Jen a lot. I think that although she's a mess when she's drunk, who isn't? She's a good time.
I think that's the thing that I particularly don't care about with her. But yeah, you were saying.
I also love her bouginess. Is like, oh, this is my mansion. I got my doctor, my plastic surgeon daddy, or whatever. Like, love that fantasy.
Okay.
Teresa, OG, still stand for her. Like, back to when she was flipping tables. I'm still here.
Oh yeah.
Engaged 19 times.
And I want to say, excuse me. Whoa.
Who's your least favorite?
I was gonna say that's them pulling me back from saying something shady.
Uh-huh.
I would say my least favorite probably Melissa. Melissa's kind of just like she kind of just exists. She floats. I don't really feel like she ever brings much to the story aside from her hot husband, who is hot.
I don't mind looking
Let's
at
just put it
Juicy
at
Joe.
that. Right. And I also don't like Jackie.
Jackie.
Not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just the 3 seasons I've seen of her, I just can't get behind her.
Mm-hmm. Jake.
Okay, so I've only seen the reunion and a couple of clips here and there of Jersey.
Oh.
But from what I can tell, I like Teresa. She seems like a party, whether it's a good one or a bad one. Um, I for the reunion, I wasn't feeling Jennifer because I felt like she was talking just to stay relevant
She
and
was looking for a
arguing just to
moment.
stay relevant. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't seem like it was really a plot. She was just there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like Dolores. Dolores
Mm.
was just like, I don't know. I feel like she was just vibing. At least from what
Switzerland.
I've
She's
seen,
a
she's just
Switzerland.
vibing.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Chris?
Can we bring up the cast photo again? Because, sometimes I be having a hard time remembering who's on this
Remember the
cast photo.
names, but you see the face?
Yes, I'll remember who I like based on when I see the cast photo. Okay, so I do love, so I will say this. I love Margaret because Margaret's a mess. Teresa, I was not featuring her for a long time, especially because I felt like she was delusional. She was starting shit. But what made me fall in love with her, and I think I brought this up before, was when she was on Ultimate Girls Trip, and I saw that there was a sense of vulnerability there. She had finally come to terms with a lot of stuff that was going on in her past, especially what was going on with the whole prison thing and resenting Joe, and the fact that she said that her being in jail, she didn't get to spend those moments with her parents who were dying. So seeing that side of her made me remember what it was about Teresa that I fell in love with. So I started to fall in love with her again. Um, Melissa, I do like. I think she's cute and everything, but I like her husband more. Um, so for that situation, I like her being there. My least favorites, I will have to say. Well, I do like. I kind of have a love hate relationship with Jen. I'm not feeling Black Dolores. I'm taking that from Wendy Williams. She ain't on the air, so we don't call her Black Dolores. I, I don't particularly like Black Dolores because I feel like she is not forthright in a lot of things. Her face is so plotted to Teresa's ass. I'm thinking they trying to make a reality version of Human Centipede. Like I need her to kind of just be herself and stuff on the show, but I'm not getting that from her. She never wants to hold her friends accountable and call them out on their shit. We talk about this on the show a lot. Is that as friends, we call each other out on our stuff and we respect each other in that way. To me, it's just like she don't want to go up against Teresa because Teresa's the HBIC of RHONJ, and she probably doesn't want to lose. What is it that they use as a prop on the show?
They don't have anyone. They don't have anything.
They don't have the tri-state area or Trapicone or whatever. Okay. I was trying to come up with something because New York got apples. They got peaches over in Atlanta, diamonds in Beverly Hills.
They hold up the New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah.
Okay. They should hold that up, right? Like a little knick-knack. But so yeah, I don't like Black. All of them, I will say, her son Frankie, honey, that boy can get it. Wait, is he legal?
Yep.
Okay. Just, he's
over 21.
I don't want to be accused of being nobody's pedophile. So
no, yeah, we don't want those. It's so funny that you mentioned that because it's very close to me. I love the Housewives. Jersey is by far one of my New York, Jersey, Atlanta, Beverly Hills. Just those are my girls. Everyone else, like okay, OC, I don't really watch, and Potomac, and just getting into it. This last season, I was into it. Salt Lake City, but the thing about Jersey, like Teresa, Queen Bee, OG, I love her by far. Favorite. I love her. I love everything she is, her family, everything, the way she talks, her little language that she speaks. I'm here for it. Margaret, since the minute she walked in up until now, I live for Margaret. Margaret is so good. And the thing about Margaret is that she delivers without it being shady, even if it hurts your feelings. So she'll be like, that shirt is ugly, but it's not like, oh girl, it's just that shirt is ugly, girl. Let's talk about it. And she wants to speak on whatever it is that's bothering you so we can just finish and move on. And the minute you sound stupid, she's ready to cut you off. So I'm here for her. And Jennifer, The crazy part is, I wanted her off her very first season. I didn't want her. I didn't see her fitting the cast. I'm like, why is she here? She's always talking about her husband and her millions and millions of dollars. So take your millions of dollars into your house and stop coming to Jersey, because I don't want to see you. But after her own, like her first season up until now, she's another one. I'm here for her. She says it how it is, and I live for people like that. Like, she's so awesome, and
She
I'm
chewed
here
up
for
that
her.
last reunion.
Oh, she definitely chewed up the last reunion. What's crazy about Dolores is I love Dolores up until the last season and the reunion of the season prior. She's exactly what we're saying. Everything that Kris has said, I agree 1000%. It's so funny because we were saving this specific conversation just for this episode, where it's like, Dolores, I liked her, and the reason why I just don't phase her is because there's a difference between being a ride or die and you just kissing ass. And she can say all she wants, no I don't, no I don't, no I don't. If we pull up every clip of her times where she can be vocal, or someone is wrong, she just doesn't do it. And you can see it in her face. When they show the reunion, see her face. She agrees to certain things that are being said. But the minute is with Teresa, it's like Teresa has something on her. I'm not saying she does, but that's how she acts and behaves. And it's just like, there's a difference from licking my ass and actually having my back. You know what I mean? No, and I can say that. Like, I know for a fact, Remy's my brother. Everyone knows we walk in the room, we leave together. Everyone knows we're the twins. We come in together, we love it, and we have a good time. He will have my back, and I will 100% have his back. But he ain't licking my ass, I'm not licking his. If he has to call me out on something, he's going to call me out. You best believe, if he knows my character and how I am, and the things I wouldn't do, he will support it. But he's not going to just say yes or no to anything I say. He's going to have an opinion. And Dolores has lost me on that. Just off the strength of that, she lost me with that. Melissa, I loved it from the beginning, but these last 3 years, what I've come to realize is she was only, I think, a favorite. My opinion, I like her. I love her family. She's a great person. As far as casting wise, I think she was only that it girl because she had the issue with Teresa, and she was like trying to be nice, and Teresa was the big bully, and everyone was vouching. I was vouching for her. I was like, no, Melissa, we love her, we love her. Now that the cool water has sailed and everything's okay, she literally has no storyline. She has no storyline for a couple of years. She really hasn't had any storyline. So it's like, and then Jackie, okay, she's all right.
Remember, she comes from money. She just doesn't flaunt it. Okay.
And okay, so it's so funny in that aspect. That we have similar tastes in a lot of these women. I'm so excited for the new season. We're seeing a lot of like a table flip 2.0 happening.
Before you get to that, I want to give a shout out to Sailor Mermaid, who's in the building.
Hi, what's up, Sailor Mermaid? It's the trailers are showing like some really, like, they're really bringing it. Like, everything really seems to be revolving around Teresa and her fiance, and it looks like Margaret is the one who I'm assuming, not assuming, it looks like she's putting her opinion on, and Teresa's getting offended, and everyone else is going for the rally. It also looks like it's going to be a really bad season for Jennifer, and I feel so bad. Like, if this is what's going to happen with her family, I thought her husband really loved her. By the way, her husband can get it. Doctor and all, money and all. There's something about him.
I will say, we do have a game coming up. We're going to be playing Shag, Marry, Kill, House Husbands Edition.
Yes, I'm so excited.
So we're
going to hold that. But I will say, he can get it. But yeah, it looks like that's where we're diving in. So we're going to see a little bit like another side of Jennifer, where she looks more, I need help, I need support. I'm not going to be like, everything that she was fighting for was all surface. Now things are really hitting her home. She looks like she's going to back off a little bit. So it looks really interesting. But talking, as we said before, this is the cast that we've had for a very long time. In you guys' opinion, who would you want to see? Should they replace certain housewives for this franchise? Who would you want to see return? If it could be 3 bodies, who would they be, in your opinion? I already have it. So if you want me to speak ahead while you guys are thinking it,
you go ahead.
Just to have the conversation. So I would say that I would definitely want Carolyn Manzo back. I was going to say that. Back. It's been so long. It's like New York. If they brought Jill back, I would be so happy. She's the OG. I need her, and I want the twins. The twins are really bringing it. Listen, the twins were not related anywhere near the Teresa, and I guess a family thing. But during their season, they were very family oriented. The twins were always together. Right. You saw their family. You saw like their children, them growing up. They have so much good upbringing, and they were good for TV. Like on the screen, their personality, they gelled so well. I cracked up every time I saw them. I think the reunion was so well for them too. So those are my top three. I said 3 or 4. No, I said 3, right?
3.
Well, those
3.
were,
Yeah,
yeah,
those
the twins
would
are the
my
twins
top
are a
3.
package deal. Okay, so I was thinking now to piggyback on what you were saying because now it's coming to my head. I would love to see Caroline come back
Yeah.
because I love Caroline. She's an OG of that franchise, and I like to see her work it out with Teresa. Although I don't think that's going to happen because Teresa, the show gave her the thing that she gave her, and then it made her one of the the HBIC of that housewives, and so trying to bring up these other people that could eventually disrupt her situation is not because we saw what happened with her and Melissa, where she didn't like the fact that y'all trying to bring Melissa up in here because this is my thing, and then I'm getting to be on TV, so that's kind of what the standpoint was. I was coming with that. As messy as she was, I would love to see Danielle come back. I love Danielle's style when she was on during the seasons. I would love to see Danielle come back. And last but certainly not least, I don't know if she probably bring it like she needs to, but I really want to see Teresa work it out with Jacqueline.
Oh, girl.
It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that because I was also on the fence about Jacqueline just because I know that she's very diarrhea of the mouth and she'll just blurt out stuff and create drama. And I think that that's good to see on reality TV, especially when you're in a group of ladies who get very heated about certain things. I feel like her throwing things into the mix would be like, oh, this is good TV. I also want to see Dina come back. I feel like Dina, if she actually participated in the shenanigans and was like actually here for it, because she was very upfront about, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not associating myself with this or whatever. But I feel like if she came back and she actually ditched it, maybe it'll be a good season for her as well, especially since we haven't seen her in a while. But other than that, I don't want to see anyone come back. The twins, okay. Like, the twins, okay. Twins, maybe. But I didn't care for Amber. I know Caroline would never come back. She's done with it. Kathy would be interesting, but at the same time, not really, because she didn't really bring much.
Right.
It was just always her trying to make amends with Teresa, and Teresa just immediately shutting her down. So it was like you could only do that but so long.
True.
Siggy, no. Yeah, no, just really Dina and Jacqueline for me.
Siggy's a Trump supporter. We don't want her.
Oh, well, talking about Jake, do you have an opinion? Because I know you don't really watch up on the Jersey Housewives, but is someone you'd want to see come back to the show?
From the clips that I saw, like I looked up like the best fights of Jersey. I want to see Danielle come back. Because that was crazy.
That's super Danielle. So I have a question for you
guys. I have to say that Jake researches like I research because that's the first thing I be doing. Look up the epic fights.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm bored, that's all I watch. When I find clips for something I find like the best of. But my question is, this should be a good one, and then we can play the game right after because I think this might be a little bit long because it's so good. My question is.
Wait, before you get to that, what was the tea that you still behind the scenes? You had somebody had some tea for about a hot topic story.
Oh, EJ's about to bring it up. So
is it a video?
I think it's a video. We're about to watch a video. Oh, it's chocolate.
Good one, Jake.
Get out of here.
Wait, what's that? NOA news story. What is that?
No, a news story.
Oh. Okay, well, while that conjures up or whatever, Lindsay, continue.
Oh.
Because I don't want no dead air. So yeah, go ahead.
Before we play the game, I wanted
to is that it? He would
love to. Of course he would. How?
Wait, hold on now. So now let's forego what your next. We can get to that in a second. Let's talk about this because this is news to me.
I didn't know that Teresa planned to have a destination wedding in Italy because it's not. I don't see Joe joining.
He can't come to this wedding.
He's gonna come via Zoom.
Did he mean by Zoom?
I have to say that body definitely. That body is looking good. Now the face looks a little weathered.
No, he can still get it. That face. Listen, I'm not gonna.
You know
I
how
still
some,
take Joe Gorga over Juicy Joe.
that part.
I mean, that's just weird. Why would you invite your ex-husband?
Well, they're also like in business together. They have like sex toys together and stuff. So they're still like,
yeah, they do. They do.
Wait, Teresa has a sex toy line?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, I told you I haven't really been invested in the whole Housewives. So I didn't even know that. Well, Jersey.
So my question for you guys is, I love you, and Danielle. Both of you have picked up Danielle. Well, all three of you mentioned Danielle in conversations. Why do you guys think it's so hard to keep Danielle? Because she's so well liked. What is it? We get it that she could be problematic, or she's very straightforward,
And messy.
You know what I mean? And she's messy with him out. But if you notice, she's only messy when no one's being true to one another or when you're attacking her, which is what every other women do on the show. So what do you guys think is the stigma on Danielle that's hurting her from A, being back again, and 2, being a housewife? Because she's been back the last 3 years, but as a friend of and made appearances here and there, not as an official housewife.
I think what it is that because she's not forthright with a lot of stuff that's going on in her personal life, I think it has to do with the fact that she latches onto men with money to take care of her, that she's not someone who's as financially well off as she likes to make it out that she is. So I think that a lot of what's going on in her personal life, she's not as honest as most people would expect you to be on these type of shows. So I think that may be what's hurting her. And then on top of that, besides the fact that she gets into it with certain people, outside of that, she's probably not that entertaining. Like, she's great to look at, all the plastic surgery, the bony body, the big tits, all that sort of thing. But outside of that, it's like she doesn't have anything else going for her. So that could be it. I mean,
I also think she's a little unhinged.
Yeah.
Oh,
we like unhinged though.
Yeah, but I don't think unhinged in a good way.
She makes for good TV. I love it. So let's bring out this round. Kris has a nice game for us, a game that I really like. So let's play this.
Shag, marry, kill. Okay, so EJ, let me know when you're ready to get to the picture. I had him put it in the order so that way we know who was who. And I'm hoping he was able to find certain photos because I know it was a struggle for one of them. And I'll tell you which one in a minute. I don't want to, Teresa's, but not even Teresa. It was
Jackie's
Black Dolores' new man. I could not. I was like trying to look for a picture of Paul
David.
Oh no, she's not with him no more. She got a new man, honey.
Oh, you lying?
Yeah, she dumped him. She got a new man. He got body though. Yeah, it was hard, but there was like a little photo within a photo with him and the current man. But anyway, let's get to that first one. So our first Shag, marry, kill I picked is Joe Gorga, Joe Giudice, and Louis Ruelas. I think is how you say his name. So we can pull that picture up in a second. That's Teresa's people. Her brother, her ex-husband, and her current man.
Well, I already know what they look like, so I could go first.
Go ahead, Remy.
I would kill Joe Giudice. I would shag Louis. And I would marry Joe Gorga because since I'm marrying Joe Gorga, that means I get to shag Joe Gorga whenever I want. We waking up next to each other. So, Joe Gorga for the win.
Okay, so who'd I pick? Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna assume you guys think that I picked the same thing. It's the same as Remy. I'm gonna have to go with, unfortunately, Louis can get it and marry Gorga. Gorga can get it every day on display on display. Jake?
Yeah. I think I marry Gorga, kill Joe, and shag Louis.
Ooh, 3 for 3.
Damn, I think we all gonna be I think it's gonna be unanimous. It's pretty much unanimous. Even though there's some shadiness I'm getting from Teresa Nguyen, I'm probably going to it's unanimous. Basically, what all y'all said, I said the same shit. Sorry, Juicy Joe, we gotta kill you off, but I mean, it'd be a good trip. I mean, a free trip to Italy, but other than that, but he's probably not in the good part. He's probably in like the area where they got goats and shit. So
I don't want to be a gird herder. Come on, goat herder. Come on.
Oh, he said you take all 3. You're a whore, Sailor Mermaid. Okay, so our next situation is I got Joe Bonino, Bill Aiden, and Evan Goldschneider.
Okay, I got this right here. So,
Pictures, please.
Bill, I'm sorry. I'll see you at your funeral. I'm cutting off. I love him, but no, not in this group. And what's his name? Jackie's husband.
Yes, we have Joe Bonino, Bill Aiden, and Evan Goldschneider.
No, it's
no,
whatever Goldschneider. That's who he is.
Yes, that's Joe, right?
No,
Evan.
No. Evan. Oh, okay. Let's do this again. Who's the top three? I mean, who are the three? It's Evan.
That's what I said. Wait, them pictures. Joe Bonino, Bill Aiden, Evan Goldschneider.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to.
You're trying to remember who everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who.
That's why I said that the pictures.
I'm gonna have to shag Bill Aiden just because he got plastic surgeon money, and I'm gonna have to extort him.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to extort him. Evan Goldschneider, I feel like, is the most attractive of the three, so we can marry. And I'm gonna have to knock off Joe Bonino because I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna kill Joe Bonino, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay. So Joe Bonino is leaving shag Evan and marry Bill.
Mm-hmm.
No, right?
For you?
For the Jennifer's husband. Yes, I want to marry her husband. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm marrying Bill Aiden too because I can have as much surgery as I want. If I need it, shag Evan because he is hot, and I'm gonna kill Joe.
Which one is Joe?
Are we taking our time?
I'm marrying for longevity. That's why.
That's why I'm marrying Aiden, Mr. Aiden, Jennifer's husband. Listen, forget the fact that he's a plastic surgeon. He can fix me up. I find him really but he caters to
his wife. Or whatever little nip tuck she needs. I mean, she ain't got. I'm sure she ain't got to pay for it. So that's always a great perk about having a plastic surgeon for a husband.
He caters to my ginger ale enema. Jake.
I don't know what two of them look like. I know what Evan looks like, and I will marry him. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know what the other two look like.
Heard. Who's your next pick, Kris?
Okay, so I have Dolores's men, Frank Catania, David Principa, I think that's how you say his name, and Paul Connell. So David is the doctor who she just dumped, and Paul is the new man she got, and Frank Catania is the first husband.
I don't know her man, so he can go. David can go, and I want to marry Frank and shag Frank.
I know man is hot though.
I need to see the receipts.
Yeah, I need to see these receipts.
Yeah. I heard he's not on the new season though because they started dating after they wrapped the season. The last one.
The one
the last one that we're talking about. Okay.
Okay, so the last photo. Child, don't kill me for this one. Okay, so you said you're doing the last photo first, so that would be James Marchese, I think that's how you say his name, Chris Loretta, and Albert Manzo III. As in Caroline, first husband. Wait, that's not him.
Ooh.
That's Bill Aiden in the middle, that's Evan on the right, and that's Joe Bonino on the left.
Which we did, so we can move on to the next photo.
Also, I don't remember Joe Bonino looking like that. That looks like some random person off the bus stop for a lawyer ad. But
I'm
hey.
screaming.
Is that Selena or Barnes?
You know what it is? He doesn't have.
Well, I think Selena was by himself. Okay, so now we got. Wait, I don't know if that's the guy with the glasses.
That's Frank Catania on the left, but I don't know who the other two are.
The one in the middle, that was the doctor.
That's David. Yeah, that's David.
That don't look like him.
The doctor. The one on the right.
He's not wearing his baseball. He's not wearing his baseball hat.
That's supposed to be Paul, but from the picture I saw, that there was one that was on. Was it Radar Online? One of them. They had a picture of her with him, but it wasn't a clear photo. But girl, if you trying to sell us on your new man, you need to show us
What I'm gonna
picture him.
say is, for this group, the other two could go. I'm gonna have to shag, marry, and kill Frank Catania. We're gonna have a blood ritual. We could do whatever we're gonna do, but I'm
Not a blood ritual. Get me out of here.
Okay, so the next photo we're gonna do is not house husbands, but these are housewives' sons.
Oh.
So, and they're all legal. You know, I had to check. I checked the IDs myself. So we got Chris Manzo, Albie Manzo, and Frankie Catania Jr.
Ooh. I would have to.
Goddamn, Frankie could get it. Oh my God, that's a good look.
I'm gonna have to marry Frankie, because Frankie is just everything.
Yeah.
Albie could get it. Albie could get shagged. And Chris could get killed.
Yeah, agreed.
Child, we might be unanimous on this one. I'm like, can y'all just give Frankie his own?
Chris is giving JC Chavez.
You mean Chris? Or wait, what? No, Chris Kirkpatrick.
Whatever. That's what he's getting.
I mean, facts is facts. But yeah, wait, why you took the picture away? Bring him back. Like, I could just look at Frankie all day. Then.
Oh, girl.
I'm sorry. I have a weakness for Guido. But yeah. So Frankie, I would shag and marry. But we got to choose one. So I will shag him. I'd marry Albie because Albie always seemed like he's a mama's boy type, very wholesome, family oriented, that sort of thing. So I would marry him for that. Chris, I know you're funny and everything, but I gotta kill you.
I think I'd marry the middle.
Yeah.
Shag Frankie, and then kill the one on the left.
Can I tell you, you're the middle boo? I so see it for you, Jakey. I can so tell already. That is your type.
He has a nice smile.
Yes, I love it. So
okay, so wait, we got one more. So we because we only did, I did 5. It wasn't many options when it comes to the Housewives of Jersey. So we was able to keep this one short. So the next one we have James Marchese, Keza, however the fuck you say his name, Chris Loretta, and Albert Manzo III. If we can find that photo.
I'm trying to remember. Throw the photo away. Throw the whole photo away. Rip the photo up, light it on fire.
Yeah. I think we're all going to be unanimous. No shades to all the other ones, but James especially, can we kill him first? Because with the story that I remember hearing about him alleged about how they had a son who's gay and they refused to pay for his college because there was a whole story that came out around that alleged that they disowned I think it was what's his wife's name? The one that lasted one season?
Amber.
Yeah, Amber. That was her stepson. That they pretty much kicked him out, and there was a whole conflicting thing that was going on with that. He was saying that the gay son was trying to sexually abuse one of her kids, and it was a whole situation that was going on with that. So with them the alleged homophobic stuff that was about her and her husband, fuck him. And we can't just go from Frankie and all of them and just this situation.
No, much like the last shag, marry, kill we did with Sharon Needles, Redacted Pie, and throw the whole photo away.
Everything, throw it all away.
Okay. So Lindsay, back to that was it.
That is what we have so far. Yes. That was it. Just make sure you tune in. It starts next week. We're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait for the new season. And before we end the show, I know Remy wants to give us our Drag Fantasy League update on where we stand.
Okay.
Did you have to wait before you get to that? Did you have to make changes?
There is a change that I'm about to make. Okay. So we are doing a fantasy league. It's last queen standing. The last queen who is left on whoever team, that's the person who wins the fantasy league. Now, just as a reminder, on my team, I had Kerry Colby, Georges, Jasmine Kennedy, Maddie Morphosis. Lindsay had Angeria Paris Van Michaels, Bosco, Deja Sky, Lady Camden, and Chris had Cornbread, Willow, Pill, Alyssa Hunter, and June Jambalaya. Now,
one of mine went home and one of mine won a challenge.
Well, being that they brought back 2 queens, and yours was one of the queens that went home, you now get to choose. Who would you like to join your team? Would you like Orion or would you like Diabetic?
Look at Liz. He's like, oh no, bitch. Yes. Oh, I learned from
I do not. My headphones is dying.
Plot twist.
Hold up.
Plot twist. So you get to choose.
I love a twist.
Orion or Miss Diabetic.
The first walk off ever. I'm leaving.
It's a lawsuit.
Okay. I'm picking Diabetic.
Let me update that. You now have Diabetica on your team.
Diabetica.
And okay, now let's say hypothetically next week, one of our other teammates goes, we immediately get Orion's story. Or if Orion's story goes home, then the teams stay the same, and then that's when the fantasy league will actually begin.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So that's the update on that.
Yes. Well, Kris, finish us off.
Yes. So, yeah, the episode went over a little longer than usual, but because we had to incorporate Housewives in it, it is what it is. So, love you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Drinks and Drag, episode 14. Also, thank you, as usual, y'all bringing it every week. Lindsay and Remy, and then Jake, thank you for coming in and joining our little messy circus of a show.
Of course.
The one show I say you never know what you're going to get when you watch the show. It's 1 minute we could just be doing hot topics. Next minute we could just be giving, specials about our favorite reality shows and just a straight up conversation piece. So yes, tune in next week for another brand new episode of Drinks and Drag. Love you all for watching. And until next time, channel goes.
Ow. 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 Let me finish my ginger ale enema.
Oh, me with the Facts of Life ending? Oh my god.
Hey, these are my questions for the gays. Sorry, I was on straight TikTok for a minute. What?
Okay.
Would you care if your partner was bisexual?
I prefer it.
Have you ever been with someone of the opposite gender?
It doesn't exist for me.
Do you take offense when a girl calls you her gay best friend?
Yes.
Be honest, how many times has a straight person tried to hook you up with another gay person solely based on the fact that they're gay and no other compatibility requirements?
Too many.
Are you down to hook up with someone who's just curious?
If they shut up.
Do you proudly wear the rainbow flag, or are you kind of against it because it kind of segregates?
What?
Are you a yes queen gay? Or are you like, fuck that shit, what the fuck?
I don't like you.
This might be a deal breaker for me. Do you like musical theater?
Yes.
Be honest, do you still go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru and get that spicy chicken sandwich or those nuggies?
We can't drive.
Do you get upset when they have straight actors portray gay characters?
Yes.
And what's the gayest thing about you?
The fact I don't like you.